learned to an election. Live in the hills, but I still get a spread. Started with a little, but I still reinvest it. Fear how I feel, then you feel like a blessing. I just want the lesson, I just want protection. I'm up and I'm down, but they sound like progression. Farmer never plans if he waits for perfection. Finger to the down, hold it down, we gon' get it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got your Watchlist coming in on May 11th, 2020, and the stock market is not going to go crazy. And maybe I could be wrong. Literally, as I was shooting this, an earthquake, a little mini one happened here. Yes, a little earthquake. So maybe the market is exciting, but usually I say the market is exciting, and maybe hopefully I'm wrong this week and we get some action, some big moves. But for the most part, it looks like we are not going to get too big of moves. However, there is some main points and main things that we need to be watching. We still have earnings, and we have a lot of decent plays still on the table, and a few of the bigger earnings that are still left on the table. So I'm excited to go over with you guys. I hope you guys are ready. You guys know what you need to do. Drop your thumbs up on the video. Make sure you're subscribed. And if you don't know, we are live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open. It's the first link in the description, and it is pinned in the comments. We better see you there in the morning. It's free 99. It costs you nothing to join. YouTube.com/thestockmarket. You can post the plays, see the plays, chat, be positive and respectful. That's all we ask. That's it. And a lot of other things. And the most important thing you need to do, post your watches below. Let us know what you're looking at. You got any plays, comments, remixes, anything, you need to post that below. We got to source the information and let us know what you're playing. It's good. It's good ideas. So let us not delay. Let us get right into it. I'm still a little shaken up, man. That was a really, really weird earthquake thing. But that page I just see, look at, I even have earthquake San Diego is what I last Googled. But right off the bat, the thing that I'm expecting to make the market not as exciting is that pretty much all we need to be watching here is these interest rate expectations. This was the thing that happened last week. So again, whether the market holds up, whether the market is volatile or not, this is what I want to watch out for. So if you watched that video, I believe it was on Thursday or Friday, you saw the probability of a rate cut for June go from 0 to 4%, and now it's back at 1%. But watching all of the Fed futures rates for what it means for interest rates and what the Fed plans to do, this is going to be probably the most important thing. So why I'm bringing this up and why I'm saying the market's not going to move a lot this week, or why I'm expecting it not to be crazy, is simply because when the bonds start to move, they're either going to move a little bit or they're either going to move a lot. So this is like, we see that first week, something shifted yesterday, but now the question is, it's either that shift's going to continue or it'll kind of chill out for a week or two, and then you'll see more moves. So again, a longer time frame is what we have on it. If you missed that video that we posted a few days ago, I really recommend to check it out, especially if you don't understand what you're looking at here. But this is the Fed futures tool, and this is just telling you what the market is pricing in as far as expectations for the Fed. Now, why is this going to be important? Why is this important for this week? One, that was one of the biggest moves we saw last week, but now this week as well too. So coming into this week, we're going to get a lot of Fed in terms of speeches. So last week, you guys got to hear a few things from, I forgot who it was. It was a big deal last week, Clarita, the vice chair, but now you're going to get every single one of them, I think at least 5 or 6 Fed speeches are lined up. So a lot of talk is going to be happening here throughout the week at different times. And also now you're going to even get a lot of data points. So I'll even show you right here. Here's the economic calendar. Here's trading economics. But you could see even starting from Monday, you're going to get ECB, you're going to get bond auctions, but then you're going to start getting Fed Bostic, Fed Evans, then China and inflation, Japan, then it's going to be inflation in the U.S., then Bullard, Kashkari, Harker, all of those. So all throughout the week, then you're going to get the data from Europe. So again, a lot of economic points, even for us. You're going to get another conference from Powell on middle of the week on Wednesday, and then data points like unemployment, inflation, oil, and all that. So it's going to be filled with a lot of stuff, but now again the question is, has this all been priced in for, or what are we going to be waiting for? So depending on what the people in the Fed say, that will be the game changer. So if they start saying something new, or if they give us more policy, that could really make things exciting. So we're going to see. But again, I'm really basing this on the bonds. It's either the bonds are going to move pretty slow this week, or they're going to move violently. And unless there's a real big catalyst, and that these are the only things I could see that's happening. Economic data hasn't surprised us too much because it's all kind of trailing. That's been priced in. But if anybody in the Fed, especially Powell, says something or hints at something, that is what is going to move things, as well as, like we talked about last week, any bankruptcy news or anything like that. But besides that, finally for this week, earnings season. We still are going to have earnings, and there is a few. I think that this list is missing. It's not too comprehensive, but it covers most of them. You're not really going to get too big of companies. I mean, there's going to be some Inovio and Tilray, but I have a few companies I'm going to be watching for, some that are going to be important. So if you know there's a big mover on here, post it. I think there's just like one or two, and there is the potential to be surprisers, but these aren't really the ones I'm usually going to be chasing on or where we make the big money. However, one thing we always talk about is the name brand earnings versus non-name brand earnings, and that's what you're kind of getting here, is that these are the non-name brand companies. So sometimes there is really good opportunities, but then also you could get caught up paying a lot. Now, consider selling premium, but this is why we got to source information. So if you guys are looking at anything, post it below. And there's also going to be a lot of biotech companies, so keep that in mind too. But we will talk about which ones we have. I have the plays that I'm going to be looking at in the morning tomorrow and that I want to grab this week. But at the end of the day now, earnings are going to be important, but they have died down tremendously. Again, there is going to be some companies, even like JD is one of those, I forgot to mention that. But like last week, you're going to find some of the big movers, but now what earnings part am I really talking about that's going to be important? Because if this week isn't exciting, it's either, if it is exciting, we get Fed news, we get volatility, people are reacting to the economy, it will be exciting. There'll be a lot of movers, but let's say it's not now, then you have all these earnings companies, maybe the market doesn't do much, really where's the meat going to be? I'm going to be looking for the continuation. So that's every single company now that has reported. Watch to see what they do. And again, really pay attention to laggers and leaders from what's lagging against the SPY and what's actually staying the same. I want to look at continuations, especially some of the ones that are recent from last week and then some of the older ones too. But that is going to be the main thing. And then that is where we're going to be doing most of the plays. But I guess that is pretty much it. So let us get into the plays. So right off the bat, the three plays I want, again, I'm just going to keep surprising you here, man. I know it's really weird, but I like it. Tesla. Everything about it is looking good for a trade. Again, I don't know how I feel on the long term, and usually I don't like trading it. It's so hard because, again, if you're like, why is this so weird that I like Tesla? It's because it's usually a very difficult company to trade, especially with options, and the premiums are usually high. So that's why now I'm expecting it to be a good trade. I think there's a lot of underlying news from the news over the weekend with they're like suing the state, their factory, all this. Again, Elon last week, and then just how much the stock is moving where it's at. Again, we talked about this before, but thought I'd elaborate on it. I like it. I'm still in those two plays on Tesla, so we put like $2,000 into it already. So I'm both ways, and I'm using this as my place marker. Oh, and we had that debit spread. So overall, I'm $3,000 almost invested. We're down $400, but here are those two contracts. We're up $430 on the calls, and we're down $345 on the puts. So I like this, and I'm using it as a place marker, but also in the fact that I just like where Tesla's at right now. So be careful on that. I usually don't like playing Tesla because the premiums are high, and usually this whole notion that it's going to be a good trade is accounted for, and that's priced in. So it's like, yeah, Tesla can move, but it's literally going to move just as much as the premium's charging. That's why they charge it that much. But at the same time, if anything big happens, anything breaking news, it'll be good. So I'm going to be looking at that. That's the first play I like. I'm going to be seeing what we could do and how it develops, especially over kind of had somewhat of an eventful week, not too eventful, but I do want to see the effect. The next play I'm going to be looking at a lot this week. We've ignored it for a while, and that's really good because now we should be able to get some good premiums. I like where it's at. We'll show it on the chart. We talked about it a lot last week, but UNH, and I'm going to look for them on the put side or calls if the overall market goes up or there's any bullish healthcare news this week. Otherwise, it looks like it kind of outpaced the market. It's doing good. It's kind of holding up. Now I think it might give back, but it's one of those stocks that can move a lot. It hasn't moved in the last like 4 or 5 weeks, so I'm hoping premiums could be cheap and that we could take advantage of it. And then finally, this got brought up a lot. I still haven't really looked at the premiums, and that's what I'm going to be looking for, but we really just need to see how the market opens tomorrow and really kind of the first step in tone we set for the week because I want to see how these earnings are going to play it. But I believe AMAT has their earnings on Thursday, but this is a big mover. This is at least out of all those lists. I've played it before. We've watched it. Sometimes it can move, sometimes it can't, but that's what makes this a prime candidate because there's going to be an opportunity to be cheap contracts. So I'm going to be looking at AMAT on the pre-earnings coming up into this. So if we could try to get it, kind of literally how we played Roku last week, if you watch that, kind of buy it at the beginning of the week, and then coming into the day of earnings, we will have a position set up that we can maneuver around. So those are the first 3 plays. As far as everything else, I mean, I have a list of pretty much all of the continuations and everything else I want to watch. I'm in it from last week, and again, I just brought it up there with earnings, but Roku, I think they're at a good place. I want to watch this. This is one of the more recent continuations. Another one is W. I closed out of those positions, so, and even on Friday too, I don't know if I went over those. we cut out of a few different things, and all of these could be good continuation. So I'm going to look at those, but we cut out of the service now. That was 1,000%er from last week, and then where's that last W? We cut over the last W. Remember, I sold one for 1,000, sold the second one at 800, but those are all going to be good. I'm still in the TTD. That's what I'm going to be looking at again. We have the Roku. I sold out of the Facebook calls as well. Then we got the Tesla, everything else you guys know about. So watch out for those. But again, companies like W, again, TTD hasn't made a move. Another one I really like, they added to the option chain, and this is what I was talking about on Thursday or Friday, and people were asking what that means here. You could take a look at it. I said wait till they add more contracts to the option chain. So you could see here, when they ran up so much, there was contracts that didn't even exist. Even the top of the chain only goes to 200. You see these contracts, 0 open interest. There's volume here. They just started to add, they added those contracts on Friday. So wait till there's more contracts. However, that being said, the contracts are still really, really expensive. So I didn't get to get it. But watch out for Twilio. I mean, it's been having some 2 big jumps up in a row. I mean, again, it's just crazy, $70 in the last few months to 180. This is going to have the potential for volatility. And that's what I'm saying. Even watch out here now with the timing, because just keep all of these companies in mind, because now when things start to get more volatile again, you're going to know what's going to have a lot of meat on the bone. It's just going to be a matter of patience. So watch Twilio. That's one on the list. And then again, Apple and Facebook. Now I got rid of those Facebook ones. Again, I did want to take profits. I even got rid of those Google profits, but these were the older companies I reported. Watch them. Even Microsoft especially. Remember, they didn't have a real blockbuster earnings and didn't go too crazy. So if anything, they might have a lot of suppressed move in there. So I'm going to be watching Microsoft, Amazon as well too. Amazon remember, they had a good earnings move, but now if they start to break out, this is what we mean by continuation. Has the move, has a good earnings pop, relaxes for a little bit, but then once it starts breaking out highs again, that's pretty much a continuation and reaction from the earnings. Last earnings is pretty much justifying why it's breaking above new highs. So factor that in and look for those. So if I missed any companies, call those out. I'm going to watch out for them. Pre-earnings, I don't know when the earnings, I think it might be this week, but Home Depot, I'm still in that play. We're only up like 40% or so, maybe less, give or take. No, actually, wow, we're up 90%. So we've only put $200 in that play. We have those May 22nd, 255 calls. So watch out Home Depot. It's at a good spot, but if they start to break through, it could be good. But be careful, because if it has too big of a run up pre-earnings, then that might encompass it. Because again, it's like it's going to be a stock like McDonald's. Same thing. Watch out for them. If Home Depot goes up a lot, see if McDonald's doesn't go up, or see if McDonald's starts to catch up with Home Depot because they're lagging. Remember, they kind of move in tandem. Watch AMD, because the next one I need to confirm. I don't know. I think they have earnings today, but they're approaching those all-time highs from that last earnings. So watch out. But this could be a good one for earnings. It could be very, very volatile. The question is, are you buying it before the earnings run up, or are you going to get in after? And that is that really going to cost you? That's what I'm worried about. But Nvidia, if they do report this week or next week, it's still going to be an active one. It'll be crazy, and you know that one can move. And then, like we said, Tesla, again, this is what I'm just saying, the spot it's at. So kind of even looks like Nvidia's chart. So we'll see. But I still really like that both ways. But I'm also going to like, again, those HDs, McDonald's, but all the continuations, especially continuations. I'm thinking that will be the biggest focus next week, assuming there isn't anything too news driven. And then finally, if we are looking at the bond and the Fed fund rates and everything and what the expectations is for the Fed, the TLT is our compass. So keep an eye on it. Watch UUP at the same time. But remember, this is going to be a slow play. I'm watching this, even though we have those August plays. Someone even asked. So I know we have something coming towards November. I'm probably going to roll over that August play once I could sell into my favor. So now we're down on it. It's not really moving. Wait till volatility picks up, and then we could sell the contracts we have, and then hopefully roll over to ones that will guarantee give us the time. But as you see here, TLT is going to be a game of musical chairs. The question is what's going to happen with the fundamentals, and once the fundamentals are locked into place, then you use TLT, then we buy TLT. That's how we've done it every time. So wait till there's the wedge issue, and we'll be able to get it. Otherwise, it's just a question of how much premium and timing. So I'm going to be watching them as a compass with everything else, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So that is your watch list, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you're hydrated, healthy, ready to go. Make sure you post your watch list. Make sure we see you there in the morning. I need your helmet on. I need the armor shining. It is game time, baby. It is a start of a new month. Well, a week ago. I mean, time is flying. The year, it's halfway done. I hope you're ready. You need to control the balance, control the budget. And now, what are you going to do in the times when there's not a lot of excitement? Don't forget, it's summer. Selling May. Go away. Where are you going? You're right here. You're on quarantine. So I hope you're ready. Don't let the YOLO demon or the board demon get the best of you. Be smart. Paper trade long term. And let's see what this week holds at us. It's a crazy game of musical chairs, baby. But the cult loves you. I love you. I'm going to see you in the morning. Let's go.